All right, welcome back, Smart Money Sisters. My name is Tisha D. Colston, affectionately called Sister Tisha. Thank you for joining us again here for the Smart Money Sisters Side Hustle Summer Series. Well, that's a lot of S's, isn't that? Side Hustle Summer Series. And we are going through the Side Hustle Profits course where we're talking about the step-by-step blueprint to starting a profitable side hustle. So welcome back to the course here. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to be talking about how to avoid the side hustle burnout. Now, last time we talked about what did we talk about last time? We talked about focusing your time on what generates revenue. And so we went into, focusing on your target audience. We talked about focus on generating and nurturing your leads. And we talked about how important customer service is. Today is how to avoid the burnout, because you can get burned out here. So we're on lesson number 11, and we're almost to the finish line in this course here. So how do I avoid the side hustle burnout? Well, working full time can be hard enough. That's stressful. You can get burned out on your full-time job. Anybody know that? Say amen. Probably most of you wouldn't be here if that was not the case. Working on a side hustle can take your stress levels to the next level. Okay. So no matter how passionate you are about your side hustle, even if it's your favorite thing to do, in this whole entire world, there's going to come a time when you do feel burned out, where you're like, nah, no, no, not today. No, not today. So, how can you avoid the side hustle burnout? I've got a couple of ideas for you here. Number one, we talked about this one in a previous lesson, but delegate and outsource. So, you don't have to be the one person in business forever. So, you can delegate or outsource those things that you don't want to do or that you don't do as well. Sure, being hands on is excellent with your company, but you've only got one, you're only one person, you're only one woman, and you still have a full time job, most of you. And even if you don't, you can still get burnt out on your side hustle. So when you start feeling, the heat, you start feeling like the walls are closing in, you start feeling like, I don't want to do this today, then it could be that it is time for you to delegate or outsource some of the less critical tasks in your side hustle. Now, finding someone to help, as we talked about before, is going to mean time and money, because you're going to have to invest time. You're going to have to pay them. Okay, so you're going to have time to find them and money to make sure that they're the right person, and then money to pay them. But it is good to delegate or outsource it here. Um, let's see here. The next thing I want to talk about is not comparing yourself to others. That's a good way to burn yourself out. No matter how hard you try, someone will always be more successful. You know, someone's products may be more attractive. Maybe the person's more talented. Maybe they're more accessible than you are. There's always someone who does it a little bit better. So if you're using your side hustle as a way to compete with someone else, then you're never going to win. So let's say you have a childhood friend who somehow managed to rise through the ranks, and now they own $1 million home and they drive a beautiful car, and you want to be successful like your friend. So you start a side hustle where you hope to become a millionaire eventually. Well, we all do, but you do everything you can to succeed, but 5 years later, you're nowhere near where your friend's economic level is at. Maybe you drive a nice car, but you still live in the same house. You've done everything, and you still a few $1 million poorer than your friend. And so what happens is that you become disillusioned. You become depressed sometimes, and eventually you give up. And that's the whole point. You don't want to give up. So you don't want to be jealous of your friend's success. And the way to do that is to focus on how far you've come. So let's say in that 5 years, you worked on your side hustle, your income has doubled or tripled. Your quality of life has improved. And now you're in the position to leave your day job for good. And this is why you need to be mindful and be thankful of what you do have. Comparing yourselves among themselves and measuring themselves by themselves, they were not wise. That's what the scriptures say. Comparing yourself to others is a quick way to burn yourself out. So don't do it. Learn to appreciate what you have and what you have accomplished, no matter how small it might seem to you right now, because leaps are exactly that. They are small steps along the way. And they vary. They vary. Sometimes it's small, I should say, sometimes they're medium leaps. Sometimes you take huge leaps to get you to the next level, but they're leaps nonetheless. You don't get from point A to point Z. Even in the alphabet, you got to go A, B, C, D, E. You just can't go A and then Z and expect to have all of the other letters in between. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense. The next thing is set reasonable deadlines. One of the quickest way to burn yourself out is to set unreasonable deadlines for yourself. Let me give you an example. I'm doing this. I think, did I talk about this one before? I don't know. I'm doing this thing and I'm doing videos. And when I first started, I said, oh, I'm going to get 200 videos done this month. That was my goal. Honey, listen, let me tell you how many I got. I got 20, not 200. You will quickly learn what's a realistic goal. Not that I couldn't have did 200, but I had to burnt myself out doing that. Okay. So I still have other things that are going on. So those things need to be considered. You have to do and set reasonable deadlines for yourself. With your side hustle, you are the boss and you do need to work hard, but you also need to work smart if you want your side hustle to last more than a week. Because I've seen people come into stuff and it just works for that week. And then boom, they're done. They're done. They've disappointed themselves in some way. Setting reasonable deadlines is a great way not to disappoint yourself. Don't take on more work than you can afford to handle. And because when you do that, you're going to be forced to say yes to deadlines that are going to drive you crazy. You may need the money, but it doesn't mean you need to kill yourself to go after it. If you got a couple clients that offer you a lot of money in exchange for doing some urgent work over the weekend, then you may need to turn that down, or you turn down one of them so that you can keep with your boundaries and keep with your reasonable deadlines. You can try negotiating deadlines with people, and maybe, someone is going to agree to move it to a later date, right? But guess what? No is a complete sentence. So we need to also remember that. Second thing, or the fourth thing, is take breaks and vacations. Can you imagine how tired you must feel if you work 12 months straight without taking a single day off? Yeah, you may get a couple of days off at your day job, but technically you're still working on your side hustle. So you're not really off. So you're just doing something else. So you have to remember to actually take days off. So it's good to take a day off when you have a day off at work. It is so easy to not do that. It's so easy. I got a day off from work. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to work on my side hustle. But if you want to avoid side hustle burnout, then you want to avoid the always busy, always hustling mentality. Okay. When you're just starting out your side hustle, there may be stretches where you'll work for weeks at a time without a break. But as soon as you're able to, as soon as you finish a project, you should reward yourself. We talked about rewards. Reward yourself with a short break. You don't need to buy a plane ticket to go to some exotic location. You could just chill, Netflix and chill for a day without checking your emails or thinking about your day job. Now, your side hustle or your day job. Just enjoy the time. Now, I'm telling you, it takes some discipline to do, because you want to do that, but it's going to be better for you to do that, to disconnect. Okay. Every time you achieve a significant milestone, treat yourself to a disconnect. Treat yourself also. We talked about this rewards thing last time, to something beautiful. Maybe you get a body massage. Maybe you get a cute bag. Maybe you get a jacket. But I think the best thing you can treat yourself to is me time, time off. I'm not thinking about none of y'all when I'm taking time off. Okay. Set the systems up in place though, so that, and then don't even monitor them. I had something that I had a schedule. It didn't even go. You think I went back and said, oh my God, it didn't go? No, 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 no. We can catch up on another day if it didn't work. Because sometimes systems fail. They do. Maybe you didn't set it for the right time. Maybe you set it for 12:02 p.m. instead of a.m. And so, or a.m. instead of p.m. And so then it went to the next day instead of that day. Whichever way, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Stick to your boundaries. Set your me time so that you can avoid the side hustle burnout. And then the last thing is talking about the spice it up, spice it up. Variety is the spice of life. So if you become stuck doing the same things over and over again, you're going to get bored. So if you want to find out how you can regain your excitement for both your day job and your side hustle, then you got to do something different. You can't probably do as much about that on your day job, but for your side hustle, you can. Maybe instead of doing graphics, then you can do something else different in your side hustle. So maybe I don't want to do graphics this week. Maybe, I'm going to switch it up and doing emails, or, maybe I'm going to do these lovely slides things that I have up here. Okay. How about you try, I'm just trying to think of some examples, walking a dog or babysitting, maybe Uber for a couple hours. Do something you don't normally do. Do something that's going to bring you a lot of fun, right? You don't even need to switch up your side hustle. You can just switch up what you're doing in your side hustle. Spice it up, and it's going to go a long way for helping you to avoid the side hustle burnout. So we talked about today delegating and outsourcing. We talked about not comparing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Comparing is such a big thing for side hustle burnout. Setting reasonable deadlines and then taking breaks and vacations and spicing it up. So that's what we covered today on how you can avoid the side hustle burnout so you can continue in your side hustle and continue doing and being profitable in your business. Next week is our last one. It's our last lesson. And we're going to talk about when it's safe to quit your day job, because some of you, that is your goal. Your goal is to quit your day job, right? So for those of you who it's not your goal, it's still good for you to listen, because you know what? We start out with side hustles and then we think, hey, I can make a living out of this. And when you start making a living out of this, when do I quit the job? So we're going to talk more. I'm going to give you some insights on that. Again, my name is Tisha D. Colston. Thank you for joining me here today. And remember to invite someone into the Smart Money Sisters so they can get this juiciness here. And again, until we meet again, you be blessed, be fruitful, and multiply.